Today we'll be making Sunlight Soufflé. And yes, if you must ask, this is a signed copy of Uncommon Taste by the Gourmet.
The Gourmet, or as he's better known in Skyrim, the Gourmet, begins his book with this. Congratulations! By opening this volume, you have taken a first step on an epic journey, a voyage through the vast landscape of Breton food and its myriad of joys and wonders. You will explore scents, flavors, and textures so exquisite they will seem impossible, but they are more than possible. Indeed, by following the carefully selected recipes presented in this cookbook, you will prepare extraordinary dishes with such ordinary ease those around you will suspect sorcery. But the only magic is that which exists in your own heart, the passion you possess for creating delicious, amazing food that can be prepared easily and enjoyed endlessly. Start here, and someday, you too can be a gourmet.
We'll be making the Gourmet's recipe specifically, calling for the following ingredients: 2.5 ounces cow's cheese, 1 ounce of butter, 1 ounce of flour, 9 ounces of milk, a dash of salt and pepper, and a cupful of ground nutmeg. Now, I was under the impression that soufflés usually involved eggs, but these are the ingredients that are listed, so I have them out, and we're ready to get cooking. As you can see, I've already accomplished the first step. Step 1. Grate the cheese into thin shavings by running a finely honed elven dagger over the block. I won't show you that part, but you could see the finely grated cheese. It's beautiful. Alright, next step. Separate the egg whites from the yolks and beat the whites vigorously until they thicken. Let's see. Well, here's some eggs. It doesn't actually list those as ingredients in this recipe, so I have no idea how many to use. I'm going to take a shot in the dark, and we're going to go with 4 eggs. So let's separate these whites from the yolks. And done. Separated the whites and the yolks. Next step is begin preparation of the signature sunshine sauce. Melt the butter and add in flour while stirring continuously until well blended. Move the mixture to a smaller flame and begin gently stirring in the milk. It is crucial that you do not stop stirring. Continue to do so for 10 minutes until the mixture thickens. Then, and only then, will the sunshine sauce be considered ready. Alright, well, I guess I'm in for 10 minutes of stirring. Here we go. Alright, we're a couple minutes into our 10 minutes of stirring. The milk is heating up. My arm is getting tired. And we're well on our way to a beautiful sunshine sauce for our sunshine souffle. Okay, our 10 minutes of stirring has come to a conclusion. Here is our beautifully thickened sauce, looking lovely. So we're going to move on to the next step, which is adding the salt, pepper, and nutmeg and removing from the flame. So I will grab that. I'm actually going to remove it from the flame now, since it appears to be quite warm. Alright, let's grab a little bit of salt. Use a little pinch of salt. Grab a little pepper. I'm going to stir that in real quick. Just to keep that moving, you know. Courtesy of the recipe provided by the Gourmet. Definitely want to keep it stirred, keep it moving. And let's grab this nutmeg here. Now, the recipe, as you'll see, calls for a cupful of nutmeg. So I got this cup right here, and you know what? I'm gonna, instead of 1 cupful, I'm gonna be a daredevil. We're gonna go 2 cupfuls actually on this nutmeg. All right, here's cupful number 1 there. Beautiful. And we'll grab cup number 2 here. There we go. All right, there's the bold 2-cupper, you know. All right, we'll get that stirred in. Alright, so our next step here says add the grated cheese and then the egg yolks. Stir well until fully blended. Then add in the egg whites with a spoon made of carved hickory wood. So let's do the first part of that first. That feels like a multi-step process to me. So we're going to add in our blended cheese. This was carefully honed by an elven dagger, mind you. So very, very carefully, done. Make sure we get it all in there. We're losing a little bit. There we go. Okay, we got that in there. We'll give that a little stir, and then we'll add in these egg yolks. Get that all nice and blended. Lovely savory cheese souffle, the Sunlight Soufflé. Alright, we'll let that start to melt in. Let me grab these egg yolks. Again, we went with the random 4 eggs. So here's just the yolks, whites separated. So just plop those right in there. And we'll get that all stirred up and ready to go. Alright, now the Gourmets recipe just said to pour in, I'll read it right here. It says, then gently add the egg whites with a spoon made of carved hickory wood. Now, I've taken a few liberties here. I don't have carved hickory wood, but I do have this beautiful spoon with Nox's face on it. So we're going to use this one to put them in there. And then also decided to make a slight adjustment to the recipe. Went ahead and gave a little whip to these egg whites. Rather than just pouring them in, get them whipped up there to some stiff peaks there. And we'll go ahead and get these scooped in. We'll fold them on in to our mixture here. We'll add them, and then we'll fold them to get that nice, light, fluffy souffle texture.
My apologies to the Gourmet, as the recipe back on page 2 did in fact say to whip the egg whites vigorously.
Don't want to overwork it. I think that's the key. That gentle fold is really what you're looking for. So we're just gonna run it over like this and hope that we don't overwork our egg whites. We do want to get it nice and mixed though. Okay, you can see we have reached our nicely folded in state here, and we've gone ahead and prepped a few bowls here, so we can jump right over here and I'll show you these bowls. We're going to pour the mixture into these bowls before we set them into our nice heated oven. It says, gently pour the mix into 4 stonework souffle dishes, filling each nearly, but not quite, to the top. So I've gone ahead and put a little butter in there, and then given it a little bit of a, just little extra, just special cow's cheese, Parmesan cow's cheese, just to give it a little something to creep up the edges with, and assist in that rising process. Just a little flair, to the Gourmet's recipe. All right, so we've got our Sunlight Soufflé all ready to go. We're going to go ahead and get it into the oven. We're going to be very gentle with it, of course. All the rumors are, don't shake your Sunlight Soufflé. You want to be very calm, cool, and collected. And we're going to put that in the oven for the appropriate amount of time. So what we're going to do is we're going to follow the instructions exactly. Put the dishes in your moderately hot oven and shut that door. Keep sealed for 25 minutes, or your scrumptious suns will rise only to fall down flat into the oven's abyss. Remove after 25 minutes and serve immediately. Behold the brilliance of the sun and the exquisite flavor of the sunshine souffle. All right, and straight from the Gourmet's cookbook to your dining room table. Sunlight Soufflé. That is how we made the Sunlight Soufflé. I'm going to eat it now. Here is the souffle. It is fully fallen now, just FYI, but I have video evidence of it being puffed up, at least a little bit. So here's the souffle. Got a nice brown top on it. It had risen very nicely, actually. So there it is, the souffle. I'm excited to try it. I also poured the mead. So the mead is right here. So here's the mead we'll be drinking. Mythic Mead, called Freya's Kiss. It is just honey, water, and yeast. That's all it is. Let us try the souffle. If I can. I actually don't know if I can fit it in my mouth. I can't. I totally can't fit it in my mouth. Hold. A mouth hole's not big enough. It's not bad. It's actually got a nice fluff to it. I think the basis for this recipe is okay.
think it needs more cheese. More cheese and more salt. Yeah, I honestly don't mind this. If I were to give the gourmet some feedback on his recipe, I would say more salt. I would say more cheese. Like the cheese just is not. The cheese is not defined enough, you know? The taste of the cheese was not enough. I think it needs more cheese, different kinds of cheese. Yeah. Mythic Mead, local meadery. We're drinking Freya's Kiss. It is a very simple mead. There is nothing added to it. This is just honey, water, and yeast. That is all this mead is. It's quite delicious. I don't know what I was expecting, but now that I've had it, it tastes exactly like I would expect it to taste. It tastes exactly like I would expect it to taste, actually. Yeah. Like a honey wine. Like, that's what it tastes like. It's got kind of the yeast gives it kind of a beer profile, almost. Anyway, really good.